Hello guys, and welcome to a new Stabilization 2 video today by me, Vulcan. In this one I have for you a 3 versus 3 on Lipen, and I'm going to be using the 4th Alpina Monterosa with the balanced deployment type. This is one of the new Italian divisions available in the Tribute to the Liberation of Italy DLC. I'm going to be showing that off today. Let's have a look at some of the units going down. So I've got on this left hand side a load of these Pionieri. These guys are actually fantastic. They have both a flamethrower and a bundle grenade. So they can really decimate infantry squads at close range very quickly, because within the 100 meter range they flame the enemy unit first and then throw the bundle grenade on top of them while they're running, and then because they're moving and not entrenched they take extra damage, and so they can pretty much delete squads very quickly indeed, and they win against other squads with TNT or bundle grenades. So yeah, it's really nice. I've got an L35 in there. I've also got the auto blinders. I've got a Guestatori commander, and then I've got an M15, the Bersaglieri, and Tricycle to follow that up. On this side we've got the auto blinder with the Alpini, some more Alpini, the L35s and another Tricycle there. They're going to be going into the left side of this town. And then on this side we have the MG42 leading the charge with the auto blinder closely on its tail, with the Tricycle in third. We got the the two Alpini there in fourth and fifth. We've got the 75mm Pack 40, the 20mm, two L35s, Alpini, M15, and the M41. I always find it funny, like treating this like almost like a race at the start. Got all these different vehicles like just going off into the distance. I have also purchased an RE 2002, you can see that in the bottom left. We're going to be bringing that in early on to look for a cheeky bombing strike. This comes with the one 250 kilogram bomb and two 100 kilogram bombs. So we're basically looking for a nice place to drop that onto maybe one of these convoys in order to give us a little bit of a head start, because the division that we're using today, the 4th Alpina, isn't the best division in the world. Unfortunately the bombs don't drop there. It would have been nice if they did, but I pulled off towards the C202 of green, and we're just going to be having to stay away from that for the time being. I did bring in a 20mm, so I was able to keep this up in the air, because at this point usually what you do is tell it to evac and run away, but because I have the 20mm I don't have to do that. And I also decided to bring in my G55, which is good old Drago here, and that's the ace of this division. He's going to come in to help control the skies. I'm going to try and get this onto the 50 cal, but the M8 Scots with their 50 cal is going to stop that from happening. Bit of a shame there. I am 15, having to go. Killing these M8 Scots, not really doing too great right now. Coming under fire from those HE shells. Doesn't have to worry too much. I did manage to take out one of the M8 Scots. The other one's going to escape though. A Pionieri moving through the forest here. They're going to be getting themselves into position. They've got their lovely hats, the guy with the flamethrower in there as well. Or Tricycle is going to go down at the front. Got taken out by the M5A1 there, the Stuart. And this Stuart, any armor really, going to cause me a bit of an issue at the start of the game here, because my M15s are not that great. The auto blinder can't kill a Stuart. The M15s can't really kill a Stuart very well, especially when they keep missing. Unfortunately the M15 just wasn't really doing itself any favours there, and goes down to the M5A1 when it probably should have got that kill. Either way, Alpini do have the 2-star veterancy because of the Simavente that I brought in. This is the leader Simavente, which just has a machine gun. It's in the tank tab, 15 points. Provides quite a large radius though for leadership, which is actually really nice. Over here, Green's going to be trying to push in with his engineers. I have my Auto Protetto firing away, and I've also got the L35 there doing its job. Look at that, actually making use of those. M5A1 going to come and spoil the party though, and we're going to have to do a runner with our light vehicles. My Pionieri, you can see here, each one of these getting hit by the flamethrower, and then the grenades to follow, and we just triple kill those Pioneers so fast. Or the engineers, sorry, so fast indeed. It was actually ridiculous. When I first saw that in the game, when I was playing on the stream, I was a bit like, what? Like, it just shows really exactly how powerful they can be. The flamethrower making the move, stopping the enemy from throwing their bundle grenade, allowing you to throw yours first. By the time they stop and throw theirs, it's too late. They're already dead. So, yeah, really, really nice. The PNL doing very, very well there in the close range engagements. Don't really have much way to engage at longer ranges, though, since they only have 6 rifles. The rest is submachine guns. I am getting hit by some mortar fire at the moment. Borgvard is going to move up. That is going to probably get a kill there. Do remember the Borgvards. We'll see more of them later. Since Mickey is playing the Panzerlehr here, snuck one through the town and popped that into the enemy. There is the 20mm here. That was what I was using to defend my air early on. It did take quite a bit of mortar fire, so it's down to 1 health there. 75mm, the Pak 40, is currently covering this road. You can see the line of sight up that road is quite nice. But unfortunately, don't really have the eyes to see anything that's coming at the moment on that right-hand side. I do have the Battlegroup here. These guys are just chilling, keeping eyes on this kind of section of the open ground. And I've got all of these units further back, but the M15 needs to find the kill onto the M5A1 before I can really do anything here. Like this L35 and the Auto Protetto and the Tricycle and the Auto Blenders just can't do anything as long as that M5A1's alive. So I need to kill it with like an AT gun or artillery or whatever. I am actually bringing in these 75mm, and these are just small artillery pieces that do have corrected shot with the radio. And this was actually a unit that surprised me throughout this game. They have 55 rounds with the 15 smoke there, but they have some pretty decent accuracy and rate of fire with the corrected shot, so we'll see that happen at some point. Either way, Alpina with the first going to be engaging the converted gunners here. Green did make a lot of use of these converted gunners throughout the game, and they're just really, really annoying because they're sort of meaty squads you've got to break down. Even though they are disheartened and run away very easily, they just help reveal my units and allow his tanks to get fire onto my men. So that was a bit unfortunate. Pianelli there engaging some cavalry scouts, but at range, again, Pianelli not very good. Meanwhile, on the left-hand side here, Mickey did a fantastic job of breaking through with a couple of 2, 3, 4 ones, and he actually found the mortars of Jagdsource on this left-hand side, which was really good. Stem Source coming in there with a bomb just to potentially finish one off. But yeah, nice little flanking maneuver there by the armoured cars of Mickey. But here go the Obichas. These guys are firing onto, well, basically counter-battering Green's mortars. And my Battlegroup, you can see they are chilling here on the left-hand side, giving a great line of sight. I can see this 90mm all the way back. We're actually going to end up spotting the mortar carrier that I was firing at that has pulled back from that position. So I'm going to be going for it straight away to try and take it out. But it is going to start moving again, so I'm going to have to adjust that fire. I was going to briefly start firing at this, but then the mortar carrier stopped again, so I started firing at that again. Because this is just an M4, it's just an M4 like tractor, and the high-speed tractor. M4A1 gonna get picked off by the Pak 40 there. Get a nice line of sight. 81mm M21 gonna be backing off from that artillery. I have now brought in a commander, the Lynx. Thank you to you guys in the comments who told me that this is in fact not a stolen Lynx. It is in fact a copy that the Italians made themselves. So there you go. Learn something every day. But either way, that's going to be giving the connection to the M41 in the town, giving the extra veterancy to these Alpini. In my deck, I do have some Alpini with the 1-star vet. So with the leader there, we're getting +2 vet, which is making them 3-star, which allows these MG42s to do a reasonable amount of damage. I'm going to just be firing at any unit that's stationary just to keep Green on his toes, be really, really annoying with this artillery. Again, next unit, as soon as something moves, just selecting these, firing again, probably put them on the control group. Unfortunately, the P26 is going to go down there. in the town. That's the first of the P26s that's going to be dying. I believe the P26 was designated as a heavy tank, but the tank itself not very strong in comparison to like an M4, because obviously it was produced probably sooner than a Sherman was. Either way, these not really doing too much damage at the Bofors, but they are falling it back, so that's something. And I'm going to be starting again to fire at the M5A1s in this little clump, just to see if I can pick some of them off. So I'm really struggling to deal with armor at range, which I think is something that is similar with all of the, well, a lot of the infantry divisions actually in this DLC, but more specifically the Italian divisions. So in this case we're relying on these Pak 40s quite heavily, plus a few Panzerschrecks to really get the job done. And that means like obviously the Panzerschrecks require closer range engagement, and the Pak 40s are the only thing for like longer range, and then you've got like your medium tanks. So apart from all that, it's just artillery. So I've got to try and arty the tanks to death, or catch them out when they get too close. And that only really works if I can secure an objective by maybe using smoke. And that's probably one thing that I probably didn't use enough in this division when I was playing with it. I definitely could have used these Obiches to like provide smoke and then push with the Alpina with Faust with some Panzerschrecks. My Panzerschrecks were only available in B, by the way, so that's why I didn't have any yet. But yeah, that's probably what I needed to do, but unfortunately I didn't. The Alpina with Faust trying to sneak up there as far as they can are going to take a little bit of damage. Autoprotetto coming in with some more Bersaglieri into the town. I've also got the Tricycle mixed in here as well. The nice thing about having the Tricycle in that position is that it does provide some recon capability, and that's always nice. It is very cheap. It's only like 10 points for the Tricycle, so you're never really too concerned if they die. This 75mm, the Pak 40, gonna have to fall back just a bit there, as it did come under fire. Pianelli, I did push them forwards to try and get damage onto the unit in this building, but they ended up coming under a lot of fire as well. So I'm kind of having to play my cards very close to my chest. I can't really go too far out of cover, or I'm just going to come under tons of fire from the armor of green. Autoprotetto going to get taken out, and all of these little gaps in the buildings proving to be quite annoying for me to deal with, because it benefits his medium tanks a lot more than it does like my quote-unquote medium tanks and light tanks. These L35s though, pretty nice. They're really good when your opponent doesn't have any AT. Unfortunately, the Nisei rifles able to get their bazookas on target, so the L35's not too good in this scenario. But when you're up against like those disheartened converted rifles, for example, then you're doing a lot better. Anyway, you can see I'm bringing in a lot of these Panzerschrecks now, hoping that Green might move his troops further forwards and I can catch some out with these Panzerschrecks. But ultimately, Green is a decent player. He knows how to play this game very well, and yeah, he's probably not going to fall for that. So I'm kind of just like hoping here that I can maybe get my Panzerschrecks closer, and then we can kill them, kill the tanks, that is, that way. But now the Nisei are pushing me. The Japanese soldiers are coming, or well, American of Japanese descent are coming, and I don't really have too much on this left-hand side of the town, so my Panzerschrecks are going to be quite vulnerable, really. There's nothing really to stop them from pushing into me. It's a bit of a bad time. I'm going to be using the Autoprotetto and the Tricycles here to give recon onto that unit, which the Auto Blinders then killed on the left-hand side. M15's going to go up against the M5A1, looking for the kill there. The first shot did hit, so the second one is going to as well. Take out the M5A1, lovely stuff. Now the P26 going to be going up against the Stuart. And yeah, you'll see what happens. M5A1 penetrates on the first shot. We kill the M5A1. But now my P26 is yeah, damaged. It's unfortunate. Yeah, you can see even the light tanks there, the M5A1s, causing issues for the P26, which is our heaviest tank in the division. Autoblinder also going to get taken out by the bazooka of the Nisei. But the Alpha 35 did help pin down that particular unit, so that was good. And now I'm also getting the Obice to push or to get some fire down again as well. So I have been surprised by how well the Breda has been doing on some of these vehicles. It only has like 0.5 damage, but because armoured vehicles have had their suppression against infantry buffed, the Breda seems perfectly okay at doing that, like at pinning down enemy units. So I was quite pleased with how they performed. Alpina moving in here, almost getting clipped there by the 6-pounder. And really what I'm trying to do here is just keep these Obice firing at these Nisei rifles, and then what I can do is use the Alpini with their MG42 to engage at range. Like, I could use smoke in this scenario, but it would actually benefit me more to engage with the MG42 at range. So that's what I'm looking for here. But there are obviously cases, like on this left-hand side, I feel like I probably could have used smoke here, actually, to make quite a lot of ground. Alright, Staghound's going to be a pain. Take out my Auto Protetto. Also lost my P26 there, as you can see. And my Auto Blinder's looking for the Staghound kill. We did manage to kill one of the Staghounds, but yeah. Yagd is going to be a little bit of a pain in my side by going for that. Auto Blinders, though, looking for the kill. Do eventually find it as the Staghound's backing off. So I managed to, well, finally I open up with the Battlegroup to kill off that 30 cal. RE2002 is going to be coming in with the 250 kilogram bombs. That one on the left missed, thankfully. The one on the right did manage to get the kill, though, onto the leader. So it actually removed the extra veterancy that I was giving my forces, making them more vulnerable to damage, which is a bit unfortunate. Either way, things are relatively stable, to be honest. We are holding our flag on this side, we're also holding this flag, and we're actually putting pressure onto this flag. So, you know, all things considered, it's going pretty well. Although the trades are obviously not. I do also lose the Semavente here. My leader tank finally dies. That's a bit of a shame. And Mitchell now going to be coming in. This has some really nice decals on it. One of the new ones with Task Force 45. Going to be dropping its bombs there onto the Alpini. I don't really have much AA in at the moment, still just that 120mm. No chance in shooting that down. Bicycle, going to be engaging the Guestatori, but the Lienfields there going to be enough to take it out. They are very, very brittle, those things. Now I'm coming under a bit of counter battery. Some big old artillery coming down on top of my 75mm there, and you can see I'm going to just spread out the rest of these, make sure that they aren't sitting in the same place that they once were. Also got a new leader heading up to the right hand side so that I can provide the extra veterancy to my Alpini and keep that secure, but alas, 6-pounder, I believe, in these trees ended up killing that leader before it got there. Overall, we are 15 to 11. That's thanks to Sturmsource doing quite a number on this left-hand side with the 26th Panzer. So he's doing pretty well there up against Homer. Yag's kind of keeping Mickey busy in the middle and kind of putting a little bit of pressure onto me with these Guestatori, but nothing I can't handle. I've got a couple of Pianelli going in there with the flamethrower and the Gabaltaludung. Got the Alpini here, engaging the converted gunners, but with the M8 Scott to back them up. It's not ideal. Usually these M8 Scots aren't too useful because you'd have somebody with medium armor that would absolutely destroy them. But against a division like this one, you can see that they're doing pretty well, because I don't really have the armor. I do have these Panzerschrecks, but that Panzerschreck's obviously not in the right position right now, and that's obviously a bit annoying. Here, once again, Flame makes the Guestatori move. HE grenade gets the job done. Same deal on that left side, you can see it happen there. Now what I'm going to do is just back off from the Guestatori and hope for my bundle grenade to reload. Meanwhile, I'm using 81mm mortars to actually attack the Scott instead. The Scott does in fact have weak top armor, so it does take extra damage if it gets hit up there. And finally, I'm going to be targeting these 81mm mortars with my Obice. Panzerschreck going to get caught out by some converted gunners there. These ones finding my penalty with Faust as well. Obice doing pretty well. Popping the first 81mm mortar was really good. Now I'm going to be looking for the second one. I managed to find that as well in the same volley, which is really, really nice. Or in the same, like, sort of salvo at least. Going to be moving on to the 90mm now, just try and break down some of this A8, because then I can actually start using the aircraft that I bought at the first start of the game again. But Green did invest quite heavily into these two Bofors and the 90mm early on. Green keeping his range though, you can see here. Panzerschreck, I might have been able to run that one forwards and get the kill there. I think I'd definitely move that one forwards at least and go for the kill. Alpini coming through. Just still looking for the kills onto these converted gunners so I can put pressure onto that flag. I do have the Simovente leader here. This wasn't necessarily to provide variancy on the front line, because obviously I can't put a tank into the forest. It was there to connect to the commander, because here was too far away from my commander, and I didn't want to move my commander because otherwise I get spotted and then I get killed. Do manage to surrender that unit at least. We're going to have to back off, as the M8 Scott still a problem I can't deal with right now. I am finally bringing the Panzerschreck over, but now Green's moving it away. So, yeah, Green was being a very slippery customer. Panzerschreck going to be killing the M4A1 in the town, but that's going to make the Panzerschreck come under fire here. Could have probably jumped that out. RE-2002s going to be coming in on the left side. And this time they didn't really get the job done because I got 320mm over there. So I managed to avoid a lot of the damage that came in. 75mm is getting killed, the Obice here. Counter batteries coming in. And finally firing these ones at this area in order to kill the AUT gun that was sniping the road here. Because I did end up losing like something else to that, the Davunque. The GMC going to get taken out there. I do finally lose that Pack 40. Panzerschreck gets killed off by the converted gunners. So yeah, I lose that as well. Not the greatest micro on my Panzerschrecks in this game, that's for sure. And finally my artillery piece is going to go down as well. You can see the Greens pushed up with more of these converted gunners. It was a real pain. I'll say it more than once, like these converted gunners having like 15-man squads with M1 Garands and the BAR are really, really like hard to deal with. They really, really are for this division, because my units only have 8 men in them. Like the Alpini, 8 men, 1 MG42, and if you end up against like almost double, well, more than double their numbers, it's obviously not going to end too well. Auto blender there going to get taken out. The M5A1 a bit of a problem. But I have brought up some reinforcements here. You can see the M14s arriving. I brought in a little squad of these M14s to help push back into the town. And I've also got some Alpina to back them up. So looking for the kill here onto the M5A1 if I can. Going to drop the Alpina off here. And the M14s managed to kill the M5A1 for me, thankfully. And yeah, I just want to take back this flag because we're currently losing a flag for our team. I'm going to try and push back here. The Simovente is providing that extra veterancy. Again, really, really like how big this leadership circle is. You can see it's giving 2-star veterancy to all these M14s. It's giving 3-star vet to all of the Alpini. And, well, remember what I said about Borgvards? You're probably wondering what just happened. I was wondering the same at the time. Did you manage to shoot down a B-25 Mitchell over there? The 6-pounder, well, Mickey basically brought up some Borgvards to help on the right-hand side. And what ended up happening was the 6-pounder shot the first Borgvard, which blew it up. And then it caused a chain reaction through the other 2 Borgvards on the road, which ended up destroying all 6 of my M14s and doing damage to the infantry around it. Big oopsie. which was really unfortunate because with the M14s in position, I could have had something that would have dealt with all of the converted gunners and the Brazilian troops, these engineers that are coming up as well. But now I'm in a terrible position because I was already behind, and now all of these units just got blown up by Mickey's Borgwards. That's why I mentioned about, yeah, Mickey's Borgward earlier. Okay, anyway, let's move on. I do bring in a 90mm. I start bringing in quite a lot of these. If there's something about this DLC, it's that there are a lot of new 90mm in the game. The Italians have got their own dual-purpose 90mm, and now the Americans also have their own dual-purpose 90mm. This one having 190 or 160 mils of penetration with the 12 round per minute rate of fire, and my one has 170 mils of penetration with 15 round per minute rate of fire. So this gun actually really nice, and going to be bringing those in to basically act as rear defense. So if any armor like this M4A1 for example comes through the town, then I have something that can engage them. And so we're going to be launching those 170mm shots into that M4A1, and I managed to take one out. And that's exactly what they're there for. Just for any armoured advance that comes forwards, we're going to take it out. So the plan now was basically to get what was supposed to be there before back again, the 6 M14s, and make a push into the town. Unfortunately, the 6-pounder is still in position. I haven't managed to take that out yet, so we're going to have to pull off the road here as one of my M14s does go down. And I'm going to be getting my 75mm Obice to engage it. So yeah, on the bit of a back foot right now, for sure. And this division certainly struggling against the medium armour and numbers of Task Force 45. The Pack 40, trying to sneak that to the right hand side right now. Idea being that I could transport snipe on this side of the town, also maybe pick up some armor kills, but there is Green's infantry coming in here, which is a bit unfortunate because it means the Pack 40 isn't really going to be able to do too much. 90mm is coming under artillery fire at the moment. Thankfully, Sturmsource has brought up some first Rammons, and these will start to help break down the units on the right-hand side of it. He's going to be using that first one to engage the 6-pounder, launches 3 of his 6 rockets from that first salvo. M4A1 is going to go down as well. Jagdpanzer of Mickey has also been brought in. I think after Mickey blew up half of my tanks, he was he wanted to help out, so he brought up the Jagdpanzer to give me a hand, which is actually really nice because it gave me a base of armor that was a lot easier to push from. So I guess in this case, like, I could use smoke here, but now we want the Jagdpanzer to engage at range, so yeah, probably another reason not to. We're going to get the RE-2002s. We're going to be looking for the Nisei here. First one gets broken off. The second one does manage to drop its bombs, and we get a nice double kill there, which is good because it probably saved the Bersaglieri from being found, and the Pack 40 also managed to get the pin onto the Nisei, so that was good. And now the 20mm is going to be engaging that as well, although the Fall God does come in, and the Sagittario is going to be shooting it down. So you can see that the M14s here are doing a great job against any infantry that can't really fight back. They are doing a great job just slicing them down with those breaders right now. Look at that. Murder gunners get revealed, and they get taken out. Another engineer gets revealed, gets taken out. And the way that I'm revealing them right now is just classic advance onto contact. I'm just running the Alpina forwards, it's making the enemy fire at me, and then the tanks are killing them off. 2 more 6-pounders on the main road here is a bit annoying. We managed to kill off a couple units on the left-hand side there, 6-pounder and a 30 cal. But yeah, going to take out the Nisei 6-pounder. Do have the Obice engaging it straight away. Nice kill there onto the Bofors with the Werflammen. I do have a bunch of infantry back here. You're probably wondering what these are doing. Well, they were kind of hanging about because this road was being artied. Green was like arting this area and this area. I believe he was arting this initially to get rid of the 90mm, and then he started arting this road as well. I'm not sure if he was like specifically targeting something or if he was just going for the spawn road, but either way it was like cutting off my ability from pushing forwards for quite a while with like my reinforcements, which is why again they're just kind of chilling there at the moment. I did have a Ju-87 hanging about that was going for the M4s that were hanging about over here. You can see the Sherman 3 there. I was looking for the kills onto the Sherman 3s because Yags, whilst I was dealing with all this stuff on the right hand side, pushed into me on the left. So we're getting flanked here just a bit. Going to bring in the Ju-87 to try and help take out the Sherman 3 there. Pionieri unfortunately going to get pinned down, but the Guistatore did end up surrendering there. I did have those hanging about for quite a while, not really doing too much, but yeah, I just had them on an attack move order through there to try and clean out some more stuff. At the end of the day, what I need to do right now is quite simply just get these flags back. I've got to take back this flag. I've got to take back this flag on the left. And you see I'm in the process of doing that. So another Ju-87 going to be coming in. Just looking for all these Sherman 3 kills so that my Pionieri can then move through the heavy cover and clean things up. The Ju-87s, they are extremely important, I found. But then you've also got to find a way to kill enemy AA. That's also something you've got to do. Some Movente there, helping pin down the Guistatore very fast indeed. And going to be able to move forwards there and surrender those. Yagd was being cheeky, tried to get the flank on to the backside of my units here. And it almost made it work, but thankfully had a Pionieri left over. Converted gunners there, going to take a nice rocket to the face. The rocket support of Sturmsource was really, really handy. And Mickey's tank support was helping deal with a lot of this armor that was coming our way. But now that Mickey's brought armor over here, I believe Homer was also bringing armor. Yeah, the Firefly 1Cs. There's actually been 2 of them on this road already. So the opponent's responding to the fact that more than one player has joined me on this side. But still I'm going to be bringing in more Verflammens, and yeah, my poor Italian division taking the absolute brunt of the attack so far. I did try and get the Ju-87 to kill the Shermans, and I was going to use the RE-2002s to bomb the AA in the meantime. So I dropped the bombs on that one. Ju-87 does get pilot panicked, which was unfortunate. And the REs are going to be falling back. The nice thing about the REs, though, is they do have medium resilience, so that was handy. Did manage to shoot down a C205 with my AA, which was really good. I've also managed to get these Alpini finally towards the fight by actually just avoiding the road and putting them over open ground. My Pionieri here having a little bit of a hard time. You can see the Guastatore Para coming in. Those are pretty nasty because they are 13-man squads with flamers. So Yagd here, he's playing the Corpo Italiano de Liberazione, and basically I managed to take out one of Guastatore Para, but the other one is still alive with full men, and because they have flamers as well, the Pionieri there was kind of struggling to get the job done. Got another bunch of tanks coming up here, M15s this time as opposed to the M14s. Got another 90mm on the way to kind of cover the main road. And my bitch is now trying to fire away, clean up more of this AA that Green's now brought in. One of my Alpini did get taken out before they unloaded, so it forced me to unload the rest because I believe the T-70 was taking pot shots at them. I'm just looking to try and get these flags back now, and if I can, it will put our team back into the lead because again, Stemsource is still holding the high ground up here, and Mickey's managed to get into the town on that left side whilst this is all going on. But Homer coming in with his bombers, the Marauders, gonna land a very nasty bombing strike onto us, takes out the Pionieri, takes out my leader there, and that's gonna take away any hope of capturing this flag for the time being. Nice rocket strikes again, cleaning up a lot of the AA that Green had on the right hand side. It probably would have been a good idea to maybe try and use my aircraft again now that that had been taken out, but wasn't really paying attention too much to the AA that Green did or didn't have, and it looks like he's still got more back here anyway, so it probably wouldn't have mattered. Stamsor's just pushing in with lots and lots of Focke-Wulf 190 F8s. Green actually coming up here with his fighter, Folgor. Focke-Wulf might have flown too close to the sun. M14 going down. I think that was the last one. Finally, I am going to be bringing in my AS-4220s. I definitely should have brought these in sooner. They're very, very interesting vehicles. And they got a lot of jerry cans on the side. But yeah, they have a 20mm mounted in this case. And with 4 of them with 2-star veterancy, they're actually pretty scary as AA pieces. So yeah, I brought them in just as kind of like AA support behind my commander. And I've also brought in a couple of these GNR on the right hand side to push through here. And these have given me some extra AS-42s. These ones don't have 20mm though, just the Breda machine gun there, as you can see. So I got a couple of new Pianelli we're going to be pushing through. He does have like these Nisei in here, so the Pianelli are actually pretty good at dealing with them. Gonna be able to flame and blow them up and just continue the push through. Got some more Bersaglieri coming in. And I've now got the rest of my P26s on the way. In they come. Our beautiful Italian heavy tanks. Look at them. Moving on to the battlefield. Burning wrecks everywhere. This game really looks gorgeous when you zoom in. Thankfully, we do have the help of Sturm's Panthers on the right hand side now. Mickey also brought in some Panthers here as well. We're pretty much just sealing the deal. I'm going to be pushing forwards with my infantry. My Alpini managed to take back that flag. We've managed to get back into this flag. We've captured back this left hand side. So things have stabilized once again. And basically the goal is to push more offensive flags. Now I'm pretty convinced, like in this match, that with the amount of pressure that was put on this right hand side, you can see Homer's put a bunch of his tanks here, his bombers have been coming in, Jagdsorsk was pushing in on my left flank. I feel like that was part of the reason that a lot of this side was left untouched. It was also because of like Sturmsource's Panthers and his ranged engagement that allowed him to do the job. He does actually have the Stug M43 here. This is a cool gun. It's an Italian AA gun mounted there on an armoured hull. Very, very awesome. So yeah, that was obviously, you know, Sturmsource doing a decent job over there, but I feel like we were kind of blunting the pushes that Green was making with support of his teammates. M10 going to be coming under fire from my P26s here. We do manage to get it. 90 mils of penetration, not too bad against an M10. One nice thing about these P26s though is their HE damage isn't too bad on the main gun. They get 1.5 as opposed to something like the T70 that would have like 1.4. Sherman has 1.5 as well, actually. But yeah, decent enough to deal with these infantry at range quite well. And we're going to be hitting those Nisei, pushing them back. Brought up a bunch of Auto Blinder 41s now, just going to be pushing into the town. I was hoping that he really didn't have too many bazooka troops left. And any he did, we'd spot before they got into line of sight of the Auto Blinders. And then with using that information, I could kind of like just push through and just kill all this infantry off. Guestatori going to go down there to the Pianeri. Mickey trying to make a push up with the half track there, but the bazooka cutting him off. I also brought in a few M14s on this left hand side to accompany the Pianeri pushing forwards. And my Pianeri in the end did end up like just securing that little bit of forest there. Alright, here we go, the Mitchell's coming in. One of these AS-20s firing away. Look at them, they're great. Engaging that Mitchell. We are going to shoot it down. Lovely stuff. Yeah, I feel like these could be really, really good. You know, auto blenders moving in. Some more of the Brazilian engineers going down. Hurricanes now coming up. We do, of course, have the 20 mils in position, so no kills for those. And easy kill. Lovely stuff. Auto Blend is actually making quite a decent amount of ground right now. Going to be going up against an M4 though, and pretty much have no penetration chance. Bazooka's going to come out of the woodwork, kill off the P26 as well. But next wave is coming. More auto blenders. I'm just going to throw these into the fire of this town to continue to decimate the infantry of green any which way I can. Pianelli over here going to get double teamed by the Guestatori this time around. Should have probably backed them off. If I'd seen that happen, then I probably could have done so, but either way, pushing in now with the Pianelli here on the left. Pushing in with all the auto blenders. It's only like 15 seconds left on the clock, so just really hammering it home. The light forces of my Italian division struggling against M4s. Historically accurate. Lovely stuff. Right. Minor victory after 40 minutes and 15 seconds. Yeah, in the end, we actually went positive. So you can see my score kind of represents what I was talking about in the game, where it looks like they threw quite a lot into my side, and I killed a lot. Like 3,900 is the most kills out of everyone in the game. I did take a lot of losses. It did, of course, look pretty bad at one point, especially after Mickey blew up all my tanks with his Borgvards, but thankfully helped me out with more armor afterwards. And also, Sturmsource came in with his rockets there on the right-hand side, which were really handy. In terms of kills, the PaK-40s were invaluable. They are like pretty much the best AT weapon that you get, aside from the 90 mils, which also did really well, especially shooting down the Marauder Mark III there and the Hurricane Mark IV. This 90 mil also doing a good job killing 2 M4s and the Veltro there. So yeah, these 90 mils, the PaK-40 is definitely something to prioritize in this division. And the Pianelli, you know, trading 2 for 1 with an engineers as Pianelli is nice. I mean, engineers, they're only 20 points each, and the Pianelli, I think, is like 30 points. So, you know, technically you're only getting like 10 points from killing both of those engineers. But, you know, it's still a good thing because engineers are limited on the side of the Task Force 45. It's just like, obviously, when you got the Guestatori coming in as well from Jagd, we have to deal with a little bit more of that close-range infantry. In terms of losses, the M5A1s were really, really tough to deal with. The M15s, they matched up really, really well with, and it meant that Green didn't really have to invest too much into his armor in order to counter my armor, which is quite weak. The M4 there making short work of the P26s. This M5A1 getting quite a lot of work done on us. These converted gunners in the town, wow, they got a lot of kills. 3 Panzerschrecks to their name. These converted gunners can be really, really deadly because they're just so tanky, and like obviously the disheartened kind of helps them stay alive by auto falling back. So if you aren't paying attention, they actually kind of save themselves a bit. The Nisei didn't actually do too well in this game. We actually did pretty well against them. That one in particular got 3 Alpini though. But yeah, for the most part, those Nisei, we kind of bumped into them at close range a lot of the time and managed to take them out. That M10 cleaning up a lot of my M15s, poor things, and the Sherman 5s killing the auto blenders there towards the end. Of obviously, I was kind of just YOLOing forwards by the end with a lot of my light armor. Didn't really matter as long as I kept back the enemy. Yeah, it was a good game. I really, really enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys did too. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.